Hello friends, welcome to my first colour along for August. August is where we're releasing Steampunk Revival, and we're releasing Steampunk Revival because my first colouring book, Steampunk Houses, was released 5 years ago, and we're celebrating that, and I'm saying thank you to you guys for your support over those years. And I'm going to colour in one of my favourites from this book, the Powerhouse. I think there are a few powerhouses in here. Powerhouse 1, Powerhouse 2. Lots of weird little houses. But man, this one is one of the first I drew, and I'm really, really fond of it. And I was going to colour it just for something different with hoo-hoo markers. I'm thinking of doing little blue houses. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at our blues. I'm going to kick off with an ice blue and a turquoise blue. All right, so I'm thinking the light's coming from here. So I'm going to do this side of the buildings, the light, and this side of the buildings, the darker blue. So the lighter blue is turquoise and the darker blue is ice. I just want to see how that reacts. Let's play with it a little bit down here. This is my turquoise blue. And this is my ice blue, just a little darker, so it should show us a nice little bit of shadow. I think that's going to work well. I'm happy with my choices. Maybe I'm choosing this because I think it's always been a dream of mine to have a little blue weatherboard painted cottage with a wood fire burner and a little orchard on the outside. Maybe one day we'll get there. But until then, I'm just going to colour these in blue. All right. Now, while I've got that ice blue, I'm going to add in a little bit of shadow from that eave. And a little bit of shadow just around these door frames and window frames. All right, we're back to the turquoise, and I'm just going to roll that colour out on all of our little building parts where I think blue paint should go. So August is a very exciting month, guys. I can't really wait to release the Steampunk Revival. It's all I just look at all the illustrations there, and I think man, these guys are going to love my the pages in this book. So many fun things. There's some old characters that you'll know, but there's also some new things, some fun things. I can't wait to see what you all think. Man, I used to love these little dials on the side of buildings. I still love them. I've just drawn a lot of them. I'm giving you guys a break. I also love danger signs and little skull signs. Now I do have a sheet of paper and a sheet of acetate under this page to stop bleed through. I probably should have mentioned that earlier for you guys. Make sure you do that, otherwise you'll if you're using markers especially, it'll bleed through to the page behind. Using coloured pencils, probably not so important to do that. I still do it anyway because I tend to get carried away and just whip out different medium at times. Maybe you have the same problem. You start out with one idea and then you go, oh, I'm going to use this, bang, and then you, oh. All right, now I think this building goes behind. And this column here is also going to be blue. Well, this column and that column. Does get a little frenetic in the background, doesn't it? All right, I'm putting away that turquoise blue and I'm bringing out my ice blue. I'm going to do the other sides of those buildings. And a little bit of eve shadows as well. Well, I hope you guys are well at the beginning of August. Can't believe we're in August already, hey? Yeah, alive. We're starting the roll down into Christmas, can you believe it? I think I've worked out what's going on here. But there was an extra line, but I think it's that there's a tower holding up this, which means that this should be that blue. As I said, it's all a little bit frenetic in here. I'm not sure why I enjoyed drawing these. I think it might have been, I had a childhood fixation on MC Escher. If you've not seen any of his work. And that guy drew some crazy stuff. He did those optical illusion things. The staircases that kept going up forever. Yes, I used to draw these little sorts of things when I was a kid. I drew minotaur mazes with just endless staircases. It's sort of interesting. I've gone full circle, hey? And come back to that. Right, I'm still with my ice blue. Just got the finer nib now, just to pull in some shadows. All right, I'm going to use a colour called Crescent Yellow. Sort of yellowy, greeny sort of vibe. And I'm just going to use that colour on the trim of our buildings. I'm even thinking the architraves and around the doors and windows, flashing, that all should be that crescent yellow. Right, that was my crescent yellow. I think what we need now is, I'm going to try a mint green light for the roof. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Might be too much like our ice blue. Let's go just with a direct mint green. Green, lovely. Well, that was our mint green. Okay, I'm just going to bring in back my crescent yellow because I've got some of our trim here that I missed. After talking so fondly about this meter, I forgot to give it a lovely crescent yellow trim. Let's see if we can... Oh, here's some. Got a clock on our entry building. And this looks like it should be that colour as well, doesn't it? I have a red grey here. I'm just wanting to bring that in to pick out some of our wood. This little wooden platform to nowhere here. And we do have these wooden struts. Which I must say look quite sturdy. I'm just going to bring a lighter colour on. This is sandy brown. Just for the tops of those, make them a bit lighter. Could be nice to differentiate, like we did with these colours. Let's make this platform that wood colour as well. And back to our red grey. Oh, let's go with the fine nib, shall we? And here's some of those staircases I was telling you about I used to draw as kids. As a kid, staircases to nowhere. All right, let's get that sandy brown. I've got some of these big wheels here. I'm sure there's some... These are wood struts, aren't they? I think this is wood. And it looks like we've got a bar of metal around there, but then we're back to wood. Back to our red grey. It'll help us to bring in some texture and shadows to these struts, but also to here. Make those teeth metal, maybe. All right, here's some more of that wood. And what have we got over here? telegraph pole. All right, let's take on the metal. Got some different colours here. I've got some warm greys, warm grey 160, 140. Got some other sort of grey, but more sort of bronzy grey with a lye colour, shell white, and grey wolf here. I'm not sure about that. See how we go. And I just want to take on some of this metal, but I'm going to have some of the metal look rusty and some of it look silver. And so this is our old shell white. Let's get these flagpoles in shell white. This danger pole needs a shell white, doesn't it? You know what? I think these steps too could go shell white. Sort of cementy down here, doesn't it? All right, let's play with some different colours. Let's bring out our lye colour. Same sort of tonality as that shell white, but it's a bit darker. Bronzy. This drain pipe, fantastic. Let's bring that shell colour back in. Shell white, sorry, shell white. All right, that lye colour is going to look good on these. And this looks like a little boiler in the sky. There's the furnace. This looks like the boiler. Who knows what's going on? I don't, and I drew it. Goodness. Let's get those bolts in that light colour as well. Maybe this pipe here. Lid of this one. Right, put it away, Russ, put it away. I just noticed that I missed my letterbox down here, so I'm going to bring out my turquoise blue. And my ice blue. I think we went with mint green for the roof. It's got to match, guys. It's got to match. Do mint green inside that as well. And our crescent yellow. All right, let's get some red happening. What have I got here? I've got a vivid red. And I think I'm going to pick out little highlights. Meter thing should be red for sure. Let's do some red on the inside of it. What else could be red? Oh, this danger sign. It's going to need to be red too, isn't it? Yeah, I think this bathroom door, red. Code red. What else have we got? I think one or two of these flags maybe should be red. Just going to bring a darker red in. This is a geranium. Help us add some, just a bit of a darker texture to our red colour. All right, this is just yellow, plain yellow. Just going to some of these little signs to sort of pop out. All right, look at this grey wolf here. I just want to see what sort of grey it is. Yeah, it's a fun grey. Let's add some of that to some of our pipe work. And some of these ceramic bits of our telegraph pole here. Someone who was a linesman made comments on my telegraph pole that said I left out one of essential piece of kit that makes it actually work, which I thought was quite funny. These little vents and things just make it so much fun. I think some grey wolf hair here would work for us too. Let's try that out. And some unfortunate side effects of this powerhouse is there's some pollution going on. All right, let's get into our warm greys. I've got a warm grey 140. I like the warm greys because it's got a sort of a yellow, like a pinkish tinge to it, which brings the warmth, strangely enough. I'm not sure that this was built before the time or after the time of workplace health and safety measures. I have a few questions about different parts of this. This is still warm grey 140. Well, let's go a bit darker, warm grey 160. We're running out of bits to colour. I'm going to leave these dials white on their faces. All right, I've got this warm grey 160. I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow into some of these places where shadow should be. Maybe under our eaves even. Yellow grey 020. I just want to put a little bit of light grey to our path here and maybe into our shadows here. I don't want to get into colouring the whole background. I'm going to just let that building shine. Let's bring back our warm grey 160. Just make some of these pipes a little more dimensional. It's the little things, guys. Some here too. All right, this is a warm grey 190. Just want this to be nice and dark around here. It's like a rubber seal. Extra dark into our dark spaces. Yellow green, just to give us a end to our meter. What do you think? I think we're almost getting there. I'm going to leave my skull white. I'm going to bring in a white ink pen. Yeah, I think we just need to highlight a few little bits and pieces. Maybe some of these tiles are reflecting some light. It's a little bit of work, but I think it really makes those roofs just work. Makes those tiles look nice and shiny, as if they're reflecting the light. I'm not sure on my dream cottage, which is painted blue. I don't think I want green tiles on the roof though. Not convinced. Well, I've done that whole thing with a little sticker still on there. Well, you know what, guys? I think we'll call that one done. The Powerhouse from Steampunk Houses. A little bit of a blast from the past. 5 years ago. So much fun still to colour. This is why I created my first colouring book, is because I used to draw these things and colour them in, and I thought, you know, I like doing that. Surely someone else will like doing that. And off we went. The rest is history. Well, thanks so much, guys, for watching this colour along. I hope you really enjoyed it. I enjoyed colouring it. Don't forget, August is when we're releasing Steampunk Revival. I can't wait to show it all to you and launch it and get it out there in the world. Not too long to wait now, so exciting times ahead for August. I'm going to say goodbye for now, but no doubt I shall see you in another video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you later.